Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we have a beautiful M3 competition with us. We have to thank OK Motors to lend us this vehicle to test drive and review. It's amazing and it's a rear-wheel drive car. So Luan, do you want to run some of the specs for us?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really excited about this car because I've never actually driven a proper M car. I've only driven M sport cars before, and I never really thought I'd be able to drive an M3, so it's really cool. So this car is in a Brooklyn grey colour. I think it looks really nice. It's actually a really cool grey, and it's got 503 horsepower, which is plenty of horsepower. I think 650 newton meters of torque because it is an inline six
Twin
turbo engine. So you actually get quite a lot of torque, which is quite a big surprise.
Yeah.
And it's a rear-wheel drive car, so I think it should be a lot of fun. So yeah, come along with us today and we'll show you around the car. We'll be doing a bit of a test drive as well and kind of giving you an impression of what this car is like to drive. Awesome. Alright everyone, let's have a look at the front of the car. So there's a lot of technology and a lot of sensors in this car. You can see that up front here is actually a little camera. There's also the radar guided cruise control and a whole bunch of parking sensors around here as well. So it's packed with technology, which we'll show you later on inside the car. The most obvious feature of this generation M3 is the big front grills. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the front grills, and to me it looks a little bit over the top, but what it means is that you also get a lot of cooling and a lot of vents through the whole engine bay and through the whole of the front of the car. So that is a bit of an advantage as well. You can see there's vents down here as well, and also this vent that goes all the way through to the wheel arch. This actually directs the air over the top of the tyre, so it helps with aerodynamics and drag, I think, as well. We've got some really nice sculptured LED/laser headlights. They look really amazing, actually. I think this generation M3 definitely has the best headlights out of all of them. And you can see some of the creases on the bonnet here as well, so that just adds to the detail and adds to the extra flair that the M3 has. Alright, so coming to the side of the car, you can see these big 19-inch wheels with 6-pot M calipers, so it's definitely got a lot of stopping power for a big sedan, which is good. That's always a positive. And moving on to the side mirror, you can see that's quite large as well. You can spec this in carbon as well, apparently.
It's got the 360 camera.
Oh yeah, it's got another camera down here.
Yep,
there you go.
And
Lots
are they functional, these ones?
These vents are not functional, but they do look pretty cool, especially with the M3 competition badge. So I think I'll forgive BMW for that one. The other really amazing thing about this car is that it has the carbon roof. That really helps with the center of gravity for the car. So it really lowers the center of gravity, really gives you a bit more of a sports car feel. And it also just looks really amazing as well. I don't think we've seen many cars with carbon roofs. So this one, definitely a big tick for us. All right, moving on to the back of the car. So you can see these huge flared wheel arches at the back. This is a real big trademark of M3s, all the way back to the original M3. And you can see that it actually does make quite a big difference in the shape of the car, the way that the car looks. Makes it way more aggressive, and it means that we can put wider tires and wider wheels on the car as well. So that's always a big plus for a rear-wheel drive car. Cool, moving on to the back, we've got some really nice thin tail lights. These are all LED. And then we've got like a nice little lip spoiler on the boot. I'm pretty sure you can spec this in carbon as well. I can't see why they wouldn't be able to spec that in carbon. And then we've got a quad exhaust system. Look at the size of these tips. Normally a quad exhaust, it wouldn't have such big tips, but this one's got huge tips. So I'm pretty sure it sounds really good as well. And unfortunately the rear diffuser is decorative, but it still looks really amazing. So I'm still a big fan of the way that the rear looks. To me, the rear looks a lot better than the front on this generation of the M3, but I think I'll leave that judgment up to you as well. Alright everyone, let's have a look at the engine bay of this amazing M3. So we've got a 6-cylinder 3-litre straight 6 engine, which is BMW's bread and butter. They've been doing these 3-litre 6-cylinder engines for a very long time, and the design is going to look pretty similar to everyone who's familiar with these cars. Now the engine does sit really far back in the engine bay, which is again another characteristic of BMWs.
So the middle is right where the front axle is, right?
Yeah, exactly. So the middle, the center of gravity of the engine is actually behind the front axle. So that's really good for performance, really good for dynamics and for weight distribution. So, you know, well done BMW there. This engine is actually positioned better than a lot of old BMWs, because a lot of the old BMWs you had to remove a lot of trim just to get to the back of the engine, but this one looks like it's been designed really well. You've got this bracing around the engine bay as well, and that really helps with body rigidity, making sure that the car is actually really stable and really rigid, especially at high speeds. So, you know, again, I commend BMW for bringing that technology in. Apparently some of the parts in the engine bay are actually 3D printed as well. So again, you know, them using that new technology, trying to make the most of it within the M cars, that's really awesome from BMW. All right, so we've just opened up the boot, everyone, and we found the big battery is actually in the boot. So again, BMW is showing its performance features, because obviously having a big, you know, heavy battery in the front is not very good for weight distribution, but putting it in the boot is much better as a sports car.
And centered as well.
Yeah.
It's not on either side.
And it's a big battery. Do you see
Yeah.
how big that is?
Mm.
It's probably about $1,000 to replace. It's
So-
huge, man.
Put that down. So the boot space is actually quite large.
Yeah, let's do the tripod test. Yeah, look at
Very
that.
long and very,
No problems.
very spacious.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Nice. Good stuff.
So let's move into the interior. So I really like the colors of this new M3. It's got this blue merino leather interior, which is very special. It's got this bright green stitching all over. It's got on the seats, on the covers, on the door cards everywhere. It's very, very, very nice. And the M bucket seats are amazing. Usually these bucket seats on other sports cars are manually adjusted. But in the M cars, these are all electrically adjusted, which is pretty amazing. I think this is a standard seat. You can specify even higher grade sports seats, bucket seats with these holes on the side. That's another different option which you can choose from. But these seats are already pretty good actually. So moving to interior, we've got all the carbon bits. I think this is an option that you can choose. So we've got like a wireless charging port right here for your phone, charging ports, 12 volt. Really like the M gear lever. The way it works is you just have to click it into place. So unlike the mechanical ones where you click mechanically into the gears, this is electronically controlled. Very nice and very tactile. It's got this leather right here with the M stitching, so very nice detail. M3 competition badge right here. All the different controls for your car. These for the M modes and your car setup, your exhaust, auto hold. This is standard stuff, and your infotainment control right here. Okay, let's start up the engine.
Ooh,
Oh, that sounds pretty good, huh?
that's a nice bibble.
Yep. Okay, turn this over here. So it's got a very nice large digital screen right in front of the driver, which is really nice. It's got, I think, two different display modes. So this is the normal one with the rev meter on the right and your speed on the left. It's very clear, very bright. And if you press the sport button, and I think you can configure this as well. It has another different layout. Where everything is centralized and less information on the side, so you're more concentrated on the rev meter and your how quickly you're going, the speedo in the right in front of you. So that's for, like, you know, more intensive driving, I think. And it's got a really nice heads-up display as well. That heads-up display also changes from, you know, sports. You have like a linear shaped rev counter right in front of you. If you go back to comfort, basically that counter disappears and just the normal speed right in front of you. That's pretty good.
If you go back to sport mode, Frank, I think the tech on both sides is quite interesting. That's quite unique.
Yeah. So I think if you rev it,
Wow. That's awesome. That's a really good use of a digital display, actually.
there's no rev limiter.
Oh.
Try that again. or you can actually rev it up to...
There's no soft limiter.
Yeah. So moving to the steering wheel, very nice steering wheel. Typical thickness of the BMW M cars. It's a very thick steering wheel to hold. I like it actually. It feels really sturdy in your hands. So we've got this carbon trim for the steering wheel, different controls. We've got this M1 and M2 buttons specifically for the M cars, which is really handy. So you can set these up. Basically, if you go to M1 and M2, so they're in different setups. I can show you later on how they work. So basically, if you go to car and M menu, so this is specific for the M cars as well. Go to M menu, we can configure M1, and then you can go through all the different options: the engine, the transmission, chassis, steering, brake.
And customize it.
Yeah, exactly,
taste.
for the M1 button. And once you're done with that, you can go to M2, again, set up everything as you prefer. So that's really, really handy. You can also set up the heads-up display, the instrument cluster and all that. It's also got like an M drift analyzer.
Are we gonna do that today? What do you reckon?
Ooh, what do you think?
Well, we do have a big car park. Maybe not today.
Yeah, so again, this is really handy. So where you're driving, it's right on your fingertips. You can, change into the mode that you like, your favorite mode, basically. It's got all the, comfort features. I think that's part of the reason why this car is so heavy. It's very luxurious. It's got all the safety features. Basically, you've got the auto lights, auto wipers, heads-up display. We've talked about everything electrically controlled, so it's very, very comfy and feels very, very luxurious. We've got this button right here. This is for all your driver safety assist. So if we go back to road, which is the comfort standard mode, this is in green, which it means everything safety feature is turned on. So if you press that again, you can go to individual, or you can turn them all off. So right now it's all on. Individual, you can turn some of it off, and you can configure individual as well. So you can configure whatever you like. So this is really good. So if you're driving spiritedly, don't want your safety features to intervene, this is really good to have.
I think the other reason why the car is a little bit heavy, which is about 1.7 tons, is because it's got a lot of features like heated seats, cooled seats,
exactly.
Heated steering wheel as well. So there's a lot of really comfort-orientated features of this car. But again, I think that's why this car is such a good car to drive around.
Yeah, it's all-rounder. It feels very luxurious, very BMW-like.
Yeah, so I guess you get the best of both worlds,
That's right.
Like a sports car and a BMW 3 Series.
Yeah, great. Okay, let's move to the back. The rear seats are very comfy actually, lots of leg room. This is where I drive, my driving position. Quite a lot of headroom, although it starts to get quite low towards the back, but still pretty good. It's got AC control, AC vents, individual AC control right here. Got 2 charging ports, really good. It's actually a 3-seater configuration, so you can see there are 3 seat belts. 1, 2, 3. And we've got the ISO fixes. I really like these detail where you have perforations on the seat, which is really good. You've got the M seat belt as well.
Wow.
This is great, huh?
That's
nice,
cool.
Very nice detail.
Yeah.
Also on the door card, you can see on the rear door card, it's basically the same as the front. Some of the sports cars have like a lower grade door card at the back, but this got everything. It's got the Harman Kardon, it's got the ambient lighting, got like the speakers, got everything. So it's very, very good. It's very luxurious and very spacious.
I'm surprised that the seats back here are blue leather and everything that you'd expect from the front as well.
Exactly, and it's the same as the front. It's got this merino leather as well. This is a very special leather. It's finer and it's very soft, so it's great to sit on and touch actually.
Awesome. Yeah, it looks really great back here.
Great.